guys, welcome back. I have another little Jackson's haul to share with you guys. I put in another order a couple of weeks ago because I wanted to get my hands on a couple more of the Roman Szmal paints and a couple of other things in here. I can't remember what they are, but we will remember them together. Okay, let's get started. Oh, I love this little note that they put in here that their packing peanuts are compostable. So these guys, I just put them in my garden compost heap and they just biodegrade down. And then all the other stuff that they use, I think, is recyclable material. So that's really nice to know that their stuff is sustainable. Okay, let's get all these peanuts out. Well, you know what? I'm just going to put this up here and I'll take things out. A rogue peanut. Okay, so what's this first one? Oh yes, so I got some more Neocolor. Okay, so I believe these are all the Neocolor II, so the water-soluble ones. I have a couple in my collection right now, but I really enjoyed using them, so I just got a couple more. I got the Sahara Yellow, the Van Dyke Brown, the Dark Gray, and Cinnamon. So yeah, I've been really enjoying using these guys. Let me see, I have a couple more. Yeah, so I have the turquoise, the salmon, and the pink salmon in here. Okay, let's just put these over here. Let's see what's next in the box. Okay, so we have another wrapped package. So this is another one of the artist pigments. So I'm going to make some little paints using these guys, some watercolor paints. I'll probably film a video of me making them so you guys can check that out, but I have a couple of other colors and I just wanted to get a yellow, so I chose the Hansa Yellow Medium for this. Yes, we'll just see what color combos we can get with the other ones. Okay, what else is in here? We have a lot of peanuts. Maybe I'll just dump this out because I can't wade through all the peanuts. Alright, so this is the rest of the stuff. As you can see, there's a bunch of Roman Szmal there. And then this guy here is a couple of different pencils. So I think I got a couple of different types of pencils in here just because I wanted to experiment a little bit. So we have a Stabilo Carbothello. I think it's kind of like a pastel. So I really wanted to try this brand and I just like testing out the whites and blacks of the different pencils. I thought I would get one of these and see and then get more colors if we really liked it. But it's a really pretty looking pencil. This is really beautiful, the color dip there. And then I have, looks like a couple of Albrecht Dürer watercolor pencils. And I realized that the ones that I have now, just the little cheapy student Faber-Castell, just normal student grade ones, not the Albrecht Dürer. I didn't really have any good greens. I was trying to do a little landscape study and they're like really sort of vibrant and unreal. So I got a couple. I got this one in Cadmium Green Opaque and Olive Green Yellowish. So I'm hoping to sort of achieve a bit more lifelike or realistic greens with those guys. And then, oh, I did get another Carbothello. So I got a green Carbothello too. So this is that pastel kind of one, like the white here. And then I tried another white, which is, I think, the Stabilo. Yeah, so in my last haul, I got the black Aquarel Stabilo. And I really enjoyed that. It's super water soluble. So I thought I would try the white too and just see how that turned out, which would be fun. Okay, so let's open this guy here, which is one of the white knights that I wanted to get in my last haul, but they were out of stock. It looks so precious in this little container here. Yeah, so this was the Mocha that I wanted to try from the white knights. It's kind of like a peachish brown color. So yeah, so that's gonna be fun. And then a couple of Roman Szmal Szmal, I think. Someone mentioned that it's like shop. Roman Szmal. I have such a hard time remembering how to pronounce stuff. I do apologize again. Okay, so let's see what we got. We got some blues, vibrant orange. All right, so we've got the olive green deep, the malachite. Ooh, that looks so pretty. The Aquarius Green, the Cyprus burnt umber, and I heard, Cyprus burnt umber deep. I heard Dr. Ottokano talking about this one as being a really beautiful color. I'll put her study on these Roman Szmal line down below, but she did an amazing she got all the colors in the collection and just sampled them all and did a beautiful review of those. So I'll put that in the bottom. It's a really helpful review. And then we got the blue sky, ocean blue, cadmium orange, and I mostly got this for mixing because I don't really have any oranges, so I only have a couple of oranges. And then the Caput Mortuum, which I thought I had ordered in my last haul, but I actually ordered the Caput Mortuum violet, so now I have that one too. Yeah, so I think that does completes my Jackson's haul, so just a little one this time. But I also wanted to show a couple of things I got from AliExpress that came in. And the thing with AliExpress is like you order it and then you have to wait, you know, 1 to 2 months before it comes, and so I kind of forgot that I ordered these guys. So it was really exciting when it came. But I ended up getting a couple of Supervision paints. And this is a brand from China, and these guys are really granulating, I believe. And these ones are made from mineral pigments. So I got one that's called Tiger's Eye, but this guy is just sort of a kind of yellowy brown. And then this one's really fascinating. This one is called Dinosaur Fossil Brown. And the sample that they showed was super granulating and sort of this deep earthy brown that had some black tinges in it once it dried. Lots of texture, so I'm super excited to try those guys out. And then I also ordered one little paint. To my surprise, came in this cute little box. I didn't realize it was going to come in this little box, but it's a handmade honey watercolor from the same seller that sells these guys, so I'm not sure if they actually make it or just import it. It says that this is German imported material, so I'm not quite sure whether they have made that or not, but this is gorgeous little tin here, and then one little watercolor in here in shell pink, and this just looked really pretty, the swatch that they did online, and I thought, oh, I just want to try that out. So I was pleasantly surprised it came in this cute little box. I'm not sure that they always do, or if maybe your first order you get this and then they just ship the other one separately. I'm not quite sure. So I'm going to test this guy out in this swatching as well. Yeah, so we'll have a look at those. So that's all the items in the haul. Let's get on to the fun part of swatching all these things out. Okay, so here's all these swatches for the Caran D'Ache Neocolor IIs. Yeah, I really love this yellow. It's beautiful. It's sort of a muted, sort of creamy lemon sorbet. And the cinnamon is really nice. I thought it would have maybe a little more red to it, but yeah, it's definitely sort of a redwood barkish color. Van Dyke Brown is really lovely. It sort of has a bit of gray in it. It's a very deep brown. and the dark gray is really nice. It's kind of, I would say it's kind of cool toned, a bit more blue in it than warm toned. So yeah, I think they're really nice, and I'm happy to add those to my other ones. These are just the other Caran D'Ache ones that I have in my collection up there. Here is the one new white nights that I bought, which was the Mocha. These are just the other colors in my collection from my last haul, so I just added it to this guy. And this Mocha is so gorgeous. I'm so glad I got it. It's a really sort of peachy brown color. I thought it would be more like the dunes, but this definitely has sort of a yellowish undertone, and this is definitely more pinkish peachish. So yeah, they're really quite different, and yeah, I just love this color so much. I think it's quite opaque in the mass tone, so you know, a lot of, and when you rinse your brush out, you know, with the Marengo and the Mocha and the mint, you see a lot of sort of white come out of it. So it's definitely mixed with white to make those sort of pastel-y creamy tones. But yeah. Okay, so here's all the color swatches for the pencils that I bought. I think I forgot to mention when I opened them that the Carbothello pencils are actually water soluble as well. They're sort of marketed as a pastel pencil, but you can definitely add water to them. They don't seem to dissolve as much as the Albert Dürer ones that are specifically made for as aquarelles, but yeah, you can see that it sort of dissolved the color here and spread it. It left some residue in the paper, so I think that's kind of the effect that would happen. It doesn't really dissolve as much as these guys, but yeah, I really love the colors. These two are quite similar, the Chromium Green Opaque and this green Carbothello, which I think that was an olive green. They look quite different in their dry form, but when they're wet, these look quite similar. But I really love this olive green yellowish by Albert Dürer. I think that's going to be a really useful color, and I just love how this dissolves, and it's, you know, it's really like a watercolor paint. It's beautiful. The Stabilo ALL was a little bit surprising. I thought that it would do a little bit more coverage. I put some water-based ink down here and colored over it, and it totally sort of smudged it. I didn't let it dry enough, I think. And then when you add water, it just mixed those two together, which is not surprising with a water-based ink. And then over here, I did some marks with a Pigma Micron, and it seemed to cover that a little bit, and then I wet it, and the pen did not bleed, obviously, but this sort of painted over and became way more transparent. But if you draw over this now with this pencil, it really has quite good coverage. It's sort of covering those marks quite well. So yeah, I'm interested in trying this a little bit more out. I don't think it would act like a white gouache, because when it's wet, it becomes way more transparent. But when it's dry, it's like this super silky, shiny, well, not shiny, but satiny feel, and covers the black marks quite well. The white Carbothello did not do well coverage-wise. And again, it's sort of the same as this. You can see the marks. I don't know, it's probably hard because it's white on white here, but you can see the residue left in the paper from the pastel. But yeah, I think it's just sort of a textural thing rather than a coverage thing with this guy. But yeah, so I think overall those were really lovely too. So here are our new swatches for the Roman Szmal that I got in this haul. There's a couple up the top here from my last haul, so just sort of adding these to my collection. I was really impressed with them when I got them last time, so that's why I wanted to order a couple more colors. Yeah, so the blue sky, super vibrant, beautiful. I feel like it's not really realistic sort of blue sky. In its less pigmented part, or the watered down part here will probably be more useful. The ocean blue is absolutely beautiful. It's this really sort of tealish, bluish color with a bit of granulation here. The malachite is super subtle, beautiful color. Just really like, this is it full strength, and then this is watered down. They kind of don't look a lot different. You can't really get a really rich pigmented tone from it, but that's why it's actually quite beautiful. It's a very subtle color. This olive green is crazy bright and vibrant, really yellowish tones in that, but I think it's going to be a useful green. This Aquarius green is gorgeous. If you see in the watered down version, there's actually kind of some duo colors in there, so there's sort of some blue and the green in there, so that's really interesting. You don't see it as much in the mass tone here, but when it's watered down you can really see that color separation there, which is beautiful. Cadmium Orange is really super vibrant, even watered down it's really vibrant, so I'm going to do some experimenting with that and see what colors I can get with mixing that guy. The Caput Mortuum is still a little purple, like violeter than I thought. Let me see if I can find the other Caput Mortuum that I bought. I think I bought a Winsor Newton version. So this one here, let's see them side by side. So this is the Winsor Newton Caput Mortuum Violet. Yeah, so this is a little more red toned. But again, they both sort of separate out a little bit when they're watered down. This one has a lot more sort of dark brown sort of violet hints here, and this one's a little more red. So still, I think a really useful color. I'm glad I have both of them. But again, this is a really beautiful color. I love how it sort of granulates here a little bit and separates out into those two different colors. And the Cyprus Burnt Umber is just a really delicious rich brown, sort of more of a greenish tone than a reddish tone. Sort of yellow undertones there. So here's the swatching of the shell pink one that I got off AliExpress. This one is super weird. I don't know what to make of it. It is supposed to be a honey watercolor, but it was really hard to re-wet, and it's just kind of super dry and dusty. And even when after you've painted it on, like there's not much pigment there, and you can kind of just brush off the dust on top. It's sort of chalky and sandy. I'm not sure if I got a bad batch with this guy. Not sure about this one. I don't really know what to say. I'm not experienced enough, I guess, in handmade watercolor, but it doesn't seem to be great. I don't want to be mean, but I don't think this one's the paint for me. Maybe somebody else would like this texture, but I find it's kind of hard to work with. Yep. So here are the two swatches for the Supervision paints from AliExpress. They are quite interesting paints. They're a little bit hard to re-wet. Like I poured these yesterday and they're already really dried out. So it took quite a bit of sort of hydrating to get them, to get the full mass tone here. And even that I think is probably not as dark as it could be. They actually have a little bit of texture to them. They're almost like a really low-grade sandpaper, which is really interesting. I went ahead and did another swatch actually of the dinosaur fossil brown, because on the swatches that they showed it was like super granulating with all this detail, so I thought you know, when you lay these down it's kind of just pretty static. So I wet the paper and tried to get some more granulation, and this is really beautiful. And this is on, I think this is on B paper, so this is 100% cotton, whereas this is just the Canson XL wood pulp. So yeah, really highlights that granulation more on the 100% cotton, and it's just kind of an amazing paint. So you can see the sort of browns and blacks and ochres in there. Yeah, so really interesting. Again, super weird texture. It doesn't actually come off like this shell pink one does, which is still doing. It's really dusty. So the texture actually stays on there, but it's definitely different from other watercolor paints I've tried. Yes, this is really rough. It's sort of like a cat's tongue, but yeah, it's really sort of sandpapery. Yeah, so just an interesting texture. I'm kind of interested in getting more of these because they're pretty weird and fun. But yeah, I really like this guy, so hoping to do some interesting stuff with that. So I think that just about does it for our little Jackson's haul with a couple of AliExpress things thrown in there. I hope you enjoyed seeing all these items swatched out and helps you make a better decision buying some new paints or materials, and that it inspires you to keep on creating. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye!